You've been around a long time in the investment business. You've worked in various at various places in various roles. You've met a lot of people. You've read a lot of books. You've got a lot of experience. So distill that for us into maybe three investing principles that you've developed over time that you adhere to and live by every day.
I think they're very simple ones. They're not that complicated. Is buy good companies, right? Really spend the time to look at buy good companies, and all good companies have very similar attributes. So buy good companies. Number two, make sure you buy them at the right price, right? Because I think that's very important. And number three is do nothing. And I don't mean that, I don't mean to absolutely don't do anything. I just mean in the sense that you should really, but if you spent the time looking at these companies, then you have a chance to kind of hold these companies for long periods of time. And some of these companies, people forget, will go up 5 times, but they can go up 5 times after that. And if I can give you a quick example of what's happened, is that Goldman Sachs had a chance to buy into Alibaba many, many years ago. They were to put up $5 million for 50% of for the company. They thought that was too risky. They put up $3 million for a certain percentage of the company. They sold that position several years later for $22 million, which is 7 times better than thing. Had they kept their share, it would be worth over $100 billion today, right? So the problem is with our business is that people come to me and ask me what my sell discipline is. What they should be asking me is what my hold discipline is, because the problem is there's an adage in this industry that says, well, you never go wrong by taking a profit, but you also never really get rich by taking a profit, right? So the issue is to hold these great companies, figure out what they are. There's not that many of them. Figure out what they are and hold them for the long term. And I think that's the way to actually grow wealth.
All right, that's great advice. We've heard that from Peter Hodson. We've heard that from Chris Meyer, who wrote that book, 100 Baggers. And you cite a study by, I believe it was a University of Arizona professor, to your point.
Yeah, so he did a study of all the stocks, and what he found out that only 1% of the stocks have created all the global wealth. The other 99% have been sort of distractions, right? And I think that it's very hard. Don't get me wrong, it's a very hard thing to do in this environment where we live in, where you get so much information so quickly. There's so many things changing, and so you tend to, it's easy to divert your eyes to something else, right? And divert your attention to something else. The hard part is really to not get distracted from the core job and not to get distracted from what you're supposed to be doing. And I think it is a very hard thing, right? Now, don't get me wrong, but I think that that's what you have to do as an investor. That's what we have to do as a fund manager for people and for their wealth. But you can't get distracted by these things that happen on the peripheral of your vision.